I'll be so happy if it's connected and I don't have to. And we're live. I'm so happy.
Amazing. I gotta notice.
Yeah, so
Good.
good morning to everyone on LinkedIn or YouTube or wherever you might be seeing this from. I think we're actually live on Facebook and somewhere else. I don't know, all the places. But welcome to Talk About TV, where we love to talk about everything experiential outdoor hospitality. And I am your host, Michelle Oliver. And today, I'm very happy. I'm actually delighted to have you here. And this is Lizzie Bustamante. Did I say it right? I did a minute ago. Lizzie
Yes.
Bustamante. And she is the co-founder of Tiller XR. And our topic today is something that I think is so misunderstood and confusing for people. And we're going to talk about how to market your experiential outdoor hospitality property, specifically content marketing, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much
So
for having me, Michelle. I really appreciate that. I'm excited to get the discussion going.
I am too. And you're coming to us from Austin. Do you want to tell us just a little bit about the company? And you are one of the co-founders, how you wound up doing this and what
Yeah, I
you do precisely.
Yeah, so Tiller XR is a virtual tour content creation company. So we create immersive content for a modern digital experience for outdoor hospitality. And it's so funny. We got into the business through, how a lot of people get into the outdoor hospitality business, which is camping. And we were camping one day at a park and thought about this idea of street view. If you think of Google Street View, on public streets, you can kind of get a sense and do the full 360 and get a chance of seeing proximity to certain things. And we thought, oh, well, surely they have that for the RV park or the campground that we're staying at. And quickly enough, the owner said, actually, no, we don't have anything like that because Google can't go into private properties. And therefore, kind of appeared this problem with a person who is potentially wanting to view or book the campground and a campground who doesn't have that kind of immersive content available because it's not offered by Google Street View. And so we thought, hey, why don't we see if we can do a Google Street View immersive content kind of like experience, right? To show off the campground, get people a sense of where they're going to be staying at, how much shade there really is, and getting past the static photos that you mainly see on photo galleries today, which are great. But the virtual tour is definitely a good supplemental digital marketing strategy. And that's how we set out with Tiller XR. And we aim to kind of really bring that type of content more accessible to park owners. I think in the past, it's been really hard to do that and really expensive. And we want this to be something that a lot of campground owners, regardless of the size of park that you have that access to that content.
You know, Gosh, I just had a flashback to a business I had like 12 years ago. And had just come out, and like the destination management company or that kind of option for 360, the destination management company where I was in this small town was offering a good deal on it. And I don't remember how much it was, but it was cost prohibitive for us. It was like very expensive, but very compelling and very magical. It was like everything is so accessible now, and yet still so many people are not taking advantage of this. So, well, I'm curious, what is the actual process? Like if I were to hire you to come do this, how does that work?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of options. So in order for this to be accessible, you got to have flexible solutions, and that's what we've got at Tiller XR. One of those is some park owners are like, you know what? We don't want to lift a finger. We want you guys to come out here, shoot the whole thing, build the whole tour. And that's what we do, right? We say, let's pick a date. Let's pick a date where your park is green and beautiful. We'll come out. We will capture all the 360 photography. We'll take that back, build your virtual tour, and then give you access to a platform where you can actually see your content. You can update your content, all of the kind of what we call floating info spots, which give a camper more information about that space that they're looking at, can be updated at any time through our self-service portal. You can also reach out to us. We can update it for you on your behalf as well. So there's that option for full
Oh,
service.
that's cool. I'm going to interrupt you for a second because
Yeah.
I want to understand that better. So you're going to come out and do like the overview, but I could then go in and update things like what? Like for an event, or
Yeah.
if
Let's say,
we just change, if we make an improvement or whatever, how does that work?
yeah,
Then it would
absolutely.
be static content, right? Or am I just being an idiot here and not understanding how it
It's going to be
goes?
the 360 photos, right? So it'll be the interactive, immersive virtual tour that gets created for
Uh-huh.
you. But we believe that virtual tours need to stay just like any other content. Your park is going to evolve, your space is going to evolve, your, hotel, whatever
Yeah.
it is, right? They improve year after year. And so should your virtual tour. Your virtual tour should be able to keep up with that without you having to necessarily contract an entire new project for us to come reshoot the whole thing.
Wow.
So what we do is we actually ship out one of these cameras, and I'll just kind of hold it up here. This is actually a 360 camera. They're super small. They're a lot more simple than people think that they have to be. They used to be like, and they still have them. They used to be huge cameras,
Yeah.
bunch of lens all the way around. Now
Right.
they're like really accessible to you. So we ship that out. We say, hey, capture, 10, 20 new photos of the space, upload them to the platform for us so that we can see them. We'll do a little QA, make sure that nothing looks crazy in the photo, and then we'll go ahead and add that to your virtual tour or replace images. Let's say you have a new cabin or a new villa. We will swap that out and we will make those updates for you, so your virtual tour can continuously get refreshed without having us go out there and basically doing a whole new project for you.
That is so efficient. That
Yeah,
makes
and
so
some
much
people,
sense.
it's crazy because we have people who now are, they're in the platform owners, and they
Yeah.
don't even reach out to us at this point. They order their camera rental, they shoot their photos, and they get in and they swap them out. And they say, they don't really need to do that because it's a self-service tool, right? What you see is what I see. We're sharing our platform with the outdoor hospitality industry because we want to make that accessible to you guys, and we don't
I
want to bullshit that.
Yeah, I love this. I love how simple you're making it, because so many, and if you're dealing with like a big REIT or a big portfolio of properties, it's one thing. But when you are approaching mom and pop, like it's just too much. Often people, they fail really in their marketing because it's just too overwhelming. They don't understand what they have to do. There's so many platforms, and who do I trust? And it's very confusing, right? So it's almost like you're providing a service and education, and then you're kind of teaching them so that
Mhm.
they are self-sufficient and not dependent on you for
Right.
everything.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
that's
to teach you how to
fantastic.
fish. Teach you how to fish
Teaching them
mentality.
how to fish. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
So
it.
it's absolutely doable on your own. You could sign up for the platform today, order your camera, and never speak to someone if you wanted to. Oftentimes people reach out to us, and we obviously are there
Sure.
for support, and we say, here's a quick, video for best practices on how to shoot your content. Do this small, 30-minute onboarding with us, and we'll walk you through that live on camera,
That's
and we show you
great.
about it. Yeah. So we're trying to
So,
teach.
so are you working all over the country? Do
Where?
you,
Yeah.
and you're actually physically going out there for the initial shoot,
For the
correct?
full service shoot, we will actually
Okay.
physically go out there and shoot all of the content, right? And then moving forward, if you want to refresh that, we ship the camera out because most of your tour is built and you're just replacing a couple of things or you're updating the tour, very small
Yeah.
piece of the tour, and that's not a big deal. But yeah, initially we go out all over the country. We've been in New York this summer. We've been in South Dakota. We've been in Utah. Of course, we've been in Texas. So we're everywhere, and we're headed to Washington next week. So
Oh, nice. Okay. So why outdoor hospitality? Is
yeah.
this like your special niche? And it's because, I mean, obviously the vision came to you when you were camping, but have
Mhm.
you expanded beyond that? And is there something special about outdoor hospitality that you care about, or like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, I think getting people outdoors is really important. I also know
Yes.
that virtual tours really took off in the market for real estate, right? For homes, for
Yeah.
apartments. And there's a lot of providers that are handling that. And some of those providers actually now are starting to use our platform because you can use it for indoor tours as well. You upload
Okay.
your images, you can do a whole apartment tour on there. So we have other people who are starting to leverage our platform, but for us specifically, we really think that the outdoor hospitality market is underserved from the standpoint of immersive content. And I think
Hmm.
when people are making these booking decisions to go and choose to be at your park, they're also carrying very expensive assets with them, like RVs.
Yeah.
and,
Yes.
and it's important to them to not have to. RVs are full of surprises as it is.
Right. That's true.
And they tend to feel like there needs to be some transparency. Us talking with campers is like, let's have transparency in this particular space and let's really start to bridge that camper to the park and really getting them the visibility that they need to understand and have expectations, right? So that they're getting to the park, they know it. They kind of feel like they've almost been there at some point, but now
Yeah.
they're going to experience that in real life, with all of the amazing like amenities and the experience that you have at a campground. I think for outdoor hospitality for us, it was really just kind of bridging that gap. Is like outdoor spaces are expansive, and
Hmm.
not a lot of people are wanting to shoot these virtual tours for outdoors because they're huge. They take a
Yeah.
lot of time to
Yeah.
do. And so that was really the second problem that we aim to solve for with our platform and using the GPS technology. So each time we take a photo with one of these cameras, it tags it. So it tells me exactly where I'm at in the park. And what we
Oh,
ended
that's so smart.
Yeah, what we ended up doing was actually using that GPS data to build the virtual tour in what used to take us probably weeks to like connect all these images together. We
Hmm.
can now do that in a few seconds with a proprietary technology that we have using that GPS data. So now, one, we can offer that at a lower rate to people like campground owners because we don't have to spend weeks on weeks of labor trying to connect
Hmm.
the images. So we've reduced that quite significantly. So we just think there's a lot of opportunity for the outdoor hospitality market, and we are looking to solve problems very specific to this space. You
Yeah.
know, with our technology though, other verticals have like tagged in and said, you know what, this I could use your virtual tour for these things and this.
Sure.
So, but from the service standpoint, we really do focus on portfolio companies, outdoor hospitality.
You know what comes to my mind of when you're saying solving the problems and the whole RV thing, like if you've got a big coach or whatever, people do want to see how, like, where can I actually go? It's such a mystery, right? They show up and then maybe it says it's a pull through, but it's not a pull through. And I mean, there's just so many um, problems that can be there that you don't know about.
Mhm.
So you're solving that and you're helping people make the decision. Yes, I can bring my type of RV, whatever I'm driving, um, where it's going to fit and everything, but also, and that's kind of obvious. But I'm thinking of it from because we have this accessible retreat and we work with, as you know, Lorraine Woodward, and she's constantly telling me stories about the promises that these parks, it's not necessarily just RV, but campgrounds, whatever, resorts, the promises they make. And then she shows up there and it's like, well, you can really only get halfway. You can't even get from A to B. You can, like, you're always being interrupted because a wheelchair
Mhm.
has requirements, right?
Yeah,
So I'm thinking how valuable this could be in the accessible space. And
absolutely.
I don't know if you know her, but she has the platform um, for all accessible properties that are actually certified short-term rentals in the country. It's called Becoming Rentable. And this type of thing, it's the same thing. You're kind of telling the story, right? Like, this is how you pull in your RV. This is what you're going to see. Here's all the experiences you can have. And having that from like within a wheelchair experience could
Yeah.
be so beneficial for people. And then they know, okay, this is good for me. And these are the things I have to plan for, or that maybe they can't provide, but I can make a solution of my own or whatever. So, and then I'm thinking about pets because pets reign over children at this point on the planet, I think.
Yeah.
But just seeing like, because so many people, again, like you can show the reality versus the
Yeah.
potential false promise that any
Mhm.
brand is trying to communicate. You could actually see, oh, there's when they say dog park, it's actually not really a dog park, or oh, it's this whole obstacle course, in a lake. And so yeah, visuals, it's telling a story.
The visual storytelling is such a huge thing for
Yeah.
branding and marketing. And then having that level of transparency and building that trust
Yes.
with your consumer
Yes.
is so important. It
Right.
goes such a long way. The worst thing is like going to these spaces, whether it's a hotel, resort, outdoor hospitality, and being
Yep.
disappointed right
Oh
off the
my gosh.
and so the things that I've seen and the feedback that we've gotten was like, we knew exactly what to expect and it was even better because
Yeah.
oftentimes they know what to expect from the visual storytelling that we have, but then they get there and they meet people and they get a chance to, see the community and talk with the park staff and, or, the staff that are there. And that makes their
Mm.
experience, just continue to climb rather than like
Yeah.
decline, so it's
Right.
and I think the ADA and the accessibility is a huge factor. We've actually
Yeah.
got that particular feedback with. We really want to show, and it was actually more so from a retirement home standpoint. Is like we want to
Oh
show
yeah.
accessibility here, and like we think that the 360 content does the best in being able to really showcase that. Um,
Yeah.
and tell the story of what of the hard work that we've put in to make our space really accessible.
Yeah. So again, I think about all of these kind of mom and pop, smaller campgrounds and properties. So and often they're going to just say that's out of range for me. So how
Mhm.
affordable is this
Yeah.
service for people like that? Can
Yeah,
they
so
do it, or is it going to be like a huge investment for them?
so they could do something what we call build together. And this is really where I think is a sweet spot for mom and pop, where we will ship out the camera, we do the onboarding, right? Your park is, not that big, right? So you're able to kind of get someone on the staff to shoot that content. That is like 599 bucks to be able to do that. To be
Oh,
able
wow.
to
That's amazing. So this is accessible for anyone. And so there's no one that should not be doing this.
exactly. So we
And then
can
they can update it on their own, that's a huge selling point. Yeah. Okay, great.
so then to
Thanks
host
for being
that.
so transparent about that.
Absolutely. I'm just gonna be
It's,
upfront with it. It's not there's
yeah,
no
I mean,
secret.
that's what people want to know because it seems like oh my gosh, it used to be like thousands and thousands of dollars for this kind of thing. It's
It
great.
can yeah, definitely. I have heard stories. We have never charged as much as what I've heard. And I've heard stories of up to
Mhm.
like $10,000 quotes.
Sure.
That's a huge investment for anyone, right? Big, small, anything like that. So when we do a full service, we're usually starting those. So that's when we go out there, right? We go out there, shoot the whole thing for you. We start those off at 2,500 and that will grow depending on the size of your park, right?
Hmm.
But they typically range from like 2,500 to 3,500 depending on the size of the park. Again, for the mom and pop who have someone that we can get online with, ship out a camera to, we do $599 and you shoot your content, we'll build it for you. And that's a
Yeah.
fraction. of that
I love
cost.
this because these are the people that kind of get overlooked and or they
Mhm.
overlook themselves because they're just like, God, I first of all, they have no idea what they're getting into when they start their business, and then it's overwhelming. There's a lot to juggle. So this really is accessible for them, which I just absolutely love that, Lizzie. I love that so much. I know there's different levels and different quality and everything, and I'm sure you can do it all. But very often, I mean, I've priced this out with other people, and I know there are different levels of service, right? But it's easily 20 or $30,000 to have someone come out and create a what they'll call like a promo video
Mhm.
for the property.
Yeah.
And then you have a static promo video for your property, right? I
Mhm.
love this so much because it's affordable. You
Mhm.
can add to it yourself. So it's always there's a new iteration constantly, like as often as you want. And it feels more just accessible. Like we are all so used to now, like doing what we're doing right now. Conversations on camera, people do their own videos and selfies and all of that kind of stuff. And we're just more comfortable with what feels real. We
Yeah.
can actually imagine ourselves instead of like a pristine, perfect, commercial. And there's a time and place for that, but this is very relatable and I love it. Super excited. I hope
Yeah,
everybody will take advantage of this. And
we hope so too. That's the goal, right? I think that people really count themselves out a lot when they hear virtual tour or immersive content.
exactly.
Like, no, I can't, that's going to be super expensive to do. And that to me is like one of the things we want to transform these outdoor spaces into immersive experiences that offer that transparency between the park and the camper, and
Yeah.
hotels and all of that. But we won't be able to do that if we don't make it accessible. If we don't draw the line somewhere and say, look, sure. Can we charge $20,000? You could, but should we? Should we really be doing that? And this kind of, if we really want people to be able to adopt this technology, we got to make it accessible, and that's really important for us.
I love it. I think everybody should meet you and
Yeah.
do it. It's just so easy for any campground owner, I mean, boutique hotel, like
Yeah.
you don't have to be a big company to be able to do it. And I mean, even restaurants and because everybody's selling the experience now, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And the fact that you can update, I don't know, there are a lot of people I can think of that I'm going to send your way that should at least look into this option. It sounds
Yeah.
like you've overcome all the obstacles. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
having a dialogue, definitely. It's so funny that you say there's a restaurant company that from the ADA standpoint is coming to us and saying, so we can just, get onto your platform and use this on ourselves. And we say, yeah, I can. Yes, you can. You have your own account. You log in just like you would any other kind of software or system, and you can manage your content on your own, your immersive content on your own. And so there's a lots of other opportunities as well. And we just are launching a new feature, which I'll say it because I'm already on live. is
Yeah, you're on the hook now,
I'm in
Lizzie.
it now. Yeah, so because we capture that GPS data on our images, one of the kind of additional opportunities that we saw, not only to just build the tours at scale and super fast using that GPS data, was like, well, we have the GPS data. Why don't we offer directions to each site? Why don't we allow someone to scan a QR code and say, take me to site 121, right? Because a lot of directions will take you to the entrance of the park. It's often hard to get through the park. And so we're launching a feature that allows you to just generate a QR code and put that on your reservation documents, your marketing material, so that you can actually allow your campers or anyone in that space
That's
to
huge.
scan it and be on their way with directions.
That is huge.
So
I had a
sites,
property, and especially when you're dealing with like properties that are out,
yeah,
in the mountains or whatever. I had a property like that I never, ever, ever was able to get right with Google.
yeah,
And Yeah, I won't tell you. They would take them to the middle of the lake. So we had to manually go in and make changes like every couple of weeks. It just I don't know. I don't even know how all that works, but that's
Yep,
an added benefit for sure. So
definitely. We want to leverage
wonderful.
that GPS data. So
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you so much for showing up here and sharing with everyone. And I will make sure, or if you come back, feel welcome to put any information into the comments that you like. And then I'll make sure in the description of this video that all of your contact information, you can see how lovely Lizzie is, and she'll help you and easy to talk to. And I'm sure you're open to talking to anyone and just
totally.
guiding them through this process. And if you don't want to do all that, which like I'd be like, yeah, I don't really want to have to do it yourself, just send anything to you, right? And you have another service and you'll do all the updates and everything. So
We will
it's
do it
really
all
awesome.
for you too. Yeah, there's flexibility. If you want it to be more hands-on or a hybrid approach, we have that. If you want to be total hands-off, we have that too. So
Love it. Okay.
thanks for having
Well,
me.
to all the immersive experiential marketing, go do it for your property.
Go do it. It's
That's
great
what
having you.
people expect. Yeah. Thank you so much, Lizzie. I hope to see you soon on our roundtable, which,
Yep.
by the way, everyone who's watching this or anyone,
Mhm.
every single Thursday at 10 o'clock Mountain Time, we have an open roundtable for experiential outdoor hospitality. That's how we met. And there are some wonderful people on there. I really do not promote it enough. So I'm taking this little opportunity to just say, sign up, show up, and we'd love to have you there. It's a lot of great people, great information. Thank you.